Hello, I'm Dr. Mann, and once again we're here to talk about the love factor inventory. So thanks for stopping by. I think the first question that naturally arises with an instrument like this is the question, can you really measure love? Well, obviously I thought so because I went ahead and designed a research study to do this. But let's look at kind of the bigger picture. I developed this instrument many years ago, and I was marketing it to mental health professionals. I was a member of the California Psychological Association. And after a year of successfully marketing this instrument and professionals using it, I received a letter from the California Psychological Association saying, "You cannot measure love. You're in violation of our ethical principles. So cease and desist, or we will expel you from the organization." So in those days, I cared more than I do today about organizational membership. And I was quite concerned, and I kind of pulled back. And I was somewhat amazed because, as I've shown on the website and talked about a little bit in the previous videos, that this instrument was scientifically designed. I had great statistical consultants, and it was state-of-the-art, high quality, validation, normalization, a large sample size of a couple thousand people across the United States. And since then, it was also normed and translated into Chinese. But for here in America, it was a well-done study. And I really think that what they objected to the most was the word love. So I don't know what their position today is about love, but in those days, they weren't too seemingly hot about taking a look at love. That business of psychology was more interested in kind of psychopathology, looking at disease issues and helping people with severe mental disorders, which is fine. But I was interested in looking at higher level functioning and helping people obtain more happiness and more connection with other human beings. So if the question is, can you measure love? I think it somewhat depends upon how you are going to what we call operationally define love. And then we can decide whether we can measure it or not. For instance, there are different kinds of love. There's romantic love, which is basically kind of a feeling, that you get that may not last over time, kind of shows up out of nowhere, and sometimes it goes back into nowhere land for unknown reasons. So in my definition, while there's a scale about that, the main concepts are not about some kind of fleeting feeling that you might have. There's also divine love, which is real, which is a relationship you have with God, ever how you conceive of God. It's a feeling of unconditional love. Your heart is expanding. You care about humanity. And you feel uplifted internally, regardless of whether or not there's somebody around stroking your ego and giving you what you want. Again, I have a spirituality scale, but my notion of love goes far beyond just that. What I wanted to measure, and I believe I successfully have, is what I call down-to-earth human love. It's the kind of love that has to do with your ability to be there in a consistent and sustained way for another human being. So this human love that we're talking about in the love factor inventory is not infatuation. It sustains itself over time and is tested. It's measured in the true light of day. So in our understanding of love, what you do is more important than what you say. It's easy to say, oh, I love you with all my heart. But when it's tested in real life, where's the love? Some people say, oh, I love you because they're getting your acceptance, they're getting your approval, they're getting your affection, they're getting your admiration. And as long as you are there to support them, to care about them, to feed their ego, and to give them what they want, and they say, oh, I love you so much. But if something happens where you have needs that are separate from theirs, you have ideas, beliefs, values that are different from them, is your partner there to unconditionally support you, to understand you, and to relate to you? And vice versa, are you there? Do you only care about getting your own needs met? Or can you move beyond the gratification of your desires, your ego, to genuinely serve another person, to unconditionally love them through thick and thin? Not just the good times. Can you tolerate their suffering? For instance, if they have a serious disease, can you be there to help them, to nurture them and support them? Or do you say, I didn't sign up for this, this is more than I want, and you just don't have the capacity to tolerate that kind of pain and suffering, so you withdraw and you leave? It doesn't necessarily make you a bad person, but it does say something about the depth of your capacity to connect with another human being and to be there. Now, these dimensions, which we might call compassion, for one, loyalty, they can be developed. So if you're not doing as well as you would like, it's not a done deal. The whole idea around the love factor inventory is we want to give you information so you can see what your strengths are and you can see areas where you might want to improve. And we help you find ways to do that. And just to review, this information is on the website at lovefactorinventory.com. But these are the scales or the dimensions that we look at. I just want to say them again so you understand. We're looking at down-to-earth, everyday, real human qualities for the most part. Compassion, friendship, intimacy, a masculine-feminine dimension, primitive self, psychological adjustment. We do have romantic love, self-respect, sensitivity, spirituality, and trust. And if you go to the website, you'll see more detailed descriptions and explanations of what these scales mean. So thanks for looking at the video. If you have any questions, you're open to email me at manr@ronmann.com. And please go to the website, check it out, and I think you will find that this instrument provides you with a depth of understanding about yourself and potentially others that can help you improve the quality of your life. Thank you so much. God bless you and stay safe.